Western Mass News is your school authority as the Center for Disease Control and Prevention is encouraging school districts to bring schools back to the classroom. The Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education is advising schools to either use an HVAC system or open the windows during the pandemic. Western Mass News reporter Sarah Guernelli is getting answers. She spoke with the chief medical officer at Mercy Medical Center to break down just why that is. She joins us live in West Springfield with more. Sarah?
Jordan, the state says schools have different types of ventilation systems. I spoke with a doctor who says it's important to circulate that air for the coronavirus. Schools continue to iron out the details for how kids can return back to their classrooms in the fall. Last week, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention encouraged school districts to bring students back to the classroom. The Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education recently released new guidance. And on page 12 of the 34-page document, the state advises for there to be an increase in air ventilation.
There is a benefit potentially to ensuring that the air circulation in the building is sufficient enough that it would reduce the likelihood that any droplets that could be infected with the coronavirus sort of maintain themselves in the air longer than they should.
Dr. Robert Roose, Mercy Medical Center's chief medical officer, tells Western Mass News that either using an HVAC system or opening the windows to circulate an airflow is important.
What we do know is that increasing the amount of air exchanges, bringing in outside air, and then taking the interior air out, and or passing that air through filters can help reduce the likelihood that a virus like the coronavirus could remain and other people could breathe it in.
He says it could help mitigate the spread of the coronavirus.
Generally, the way in which the coronavirus is transmitted is through respiratory droplets that tend to fall to the ground, because of gravity. Usually within 6 feet or so, or even a little bit longer. So they're not typically maintaining themselves in the air for things like hours. You're talking typically minutes.
Dr. Roose says there's less transmission of the virus when people are outside versus when they are inside. And he says that's because of the air circulation. Live in West Springfield, I'm Sarah Guernelli for Western Mass News.